Okay, guys, really weird update here from Amazon, and it involves the Fire TV Select kind of not being ready at launch. And I'll explain to you what I mean in this video. You're going to want to stick around because this might be the decision maker on whether you buy it or not. Just trust me on this. Now, if you're wondering what that stuff is behind me, those are some outdoor permanent lights by Eufy. I'm actually doing a review for them on this channel. So if you guys see that video pop up in your feed, click on it and watch it, please, okay? Because if you're a subscriber, it helps the numbers. If you watch it, watch the whole thing, it'll boost it up a little bit, and that is actually a major help for me. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, I go by UG Tech, and I try to help people like you, right there, you watching, save money on streaming services, and learn about the newest tech. So besides watching that video when it comes out, the other best way to support me is just subscribing down below. Okay, let's get into this big news. So this headline might actually confuse a few of you because it's a weird one. Amazon will stream selected Android-only apps from cloud to Vega OS on the Fire TV 4K Select. So if you don't know, the Fire TV 4K Select is not running Fire OS. It is a brand new Linux-based operating system brewed in-house by Amazon, and it will not be compatible with Android apps, APKs, as their file names are, their package name. And instead, they'll be compatible with brand new Vega OS apps. But here's the issue. When you make a brand new operating system, there are no apps for it. That's how it works. Old apps do not just simply integrate over. Instead, you have to take every single developer, Netflix, Prime Video, all those other small developers that make a ton of apps that you guys love, and have them create a Vega OS version. So Amazon here, like I said, their device might not be ready at launch, and this I think is kind of proof of it, clearly did not have a ton of developers decide to do this. So here is their solution. Essentially, what they're going to do is run Android apps through a cloud server and then stream them onto your Fire TV Stick Select. So this works kind of like how cloud gaming works, right? How you can play more powerful games streamed to a device that really shouldn't be able to handle them, because you're basically playing it on a server which is run on like some Amazon Super 80 AWS computers that allow it to run, and then it's just streamed on your TV, right? So it's not actually running through your device. And that's essentially what they're doing here. So I want you guys to imagine this. You're on Netflix, right? Well, Netflix is a native app when you usually use it. So when you click on your remote, it moves through smoothly, right? It's running through your device. But here, when you move your Fire TV Select remote, let's say you press the right direction and you move through Netflix. Netflix, by the way, might actually have a Vega OS native app at launch, but I'm just using it as an example. Instead, now this command is being sent to Amazon server, which is then moving it on their server through Netflix, and then that is being sent back and streamed to your device. So this is like a whole other step that needs to be done, and also leads to some other big problems, which I'm going to explain right here. Essentially, what Amazon is doing is selecting a ton of different apps that they're like, yeah, we want this on our device. So say you're buying a Fire TV Stick Select and you love Paramount Plus. You're like, yeah, I love South Park. Ooh. Okay, or whatever you watch on it, Twisted Metal, or I don't know what other shows they have on Paramount. Those are the only two I know. Well, maybe Paramount's like, we don't want to make a new Vega OS app. We're focused on Android and Apple and other devices. Well, Amazon's like, okay, we're going to give you 9 free months of cloud service for your app. So this essentially means Amazon is going to put their app on this cloud service and allow you to basically stream use it. And yeah, in that time, we're kind of hoping that you then create your own version, or you pay to continue to use the cloud app service. So after that 9 free months, right? Amazon's like, okay, within 9 months, we should be able to get this sorted. But they're selecting which apps they do this for. And I'm assuming it's mainly going to be streaming apps because you won't be able to do much more on your device. But for me, this leads to a bigger problem. Well, how many developers actually created their own Vega OS app? Because I have no doubt, obviously, Prime Video, which we saw there was a job posting for it, but I think there's a chance that one might be available at launch. I would hope so. Like, this is Amazon's Vega OS. It should be. And I'm pretty sure Netflix was also available, if I remember right, already with a Vega form on one of the Echo shows, but I can't, it's kind of not crossing my mind too much. But within that 9 months, if people don't and that period ends, this could lead to an issue because let's say Paramount, we'll use the same example, their app's on the cloud server, all great, but that 9 months disappears. And now Paramount's like, guys, we don't have enough users that are using your device, or everybody's still using your old Fire Sticks. We don't want to pay for your cloud service, whatever it is. Well, that could lead to the whole app disappearing from the Fire TV 6 Select, and an app that maybe you could use at launch might not be available anymore. Maybe it was your favorite app ever. Yeah, it could just be gone. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, especially with the major streaming apps, but this is an interesting solution, but also a weird one at the same time, because this to me openly admits from Amazon, we are launching this device before it's ready. There is not enough native apps. There are not enough companies that have spent the last 6 months since we held our app summit or whatever it was and went and created their own native apps for this. So now we're releasing this thing October 15th and we're like, what do we do here? Okay, well, let's just do cloud app. That sounds cool. People aren't going to care. And this could also lead to buffering issues. 100%. If you have super slow internet and you're struggling, that server time when you're sending that request over, when you're going through your device, that could lead to your device moving box to box at the slowest speed possible. Like you could see lag just moving through an app, which is very unusual. But because it's a cloud thing, if you've ever cloud gamed before and you don't have a strong connection, that's an issue because you're sending requests through and there's that lag period, those milliseconds. And I think Amazon's just hoping enough people don't care. And people make some good points down here. They're starting to realize, what's it going to look like with these Vega Linux budget tablet apps? And yeah, Elias here makes a good point here that scrolling your finger and sending that request back to a server, how much lag you're going to get on a touchscreen device. And that's so true. Another person here, Chuck, says, what would be stopping any big company like Netflix from just saying we're too busy to spend time developing a new app? We have our bases covered with Android and iOS, and the minimal market share of these new products will not impact our realm. Most companies have agreements with Amazon that have a bunch of layers. I'm guessing a requirement to support new devices is one of them. And he makes a good point here. And also, although they're saying, what's stopping Netflix from saying no? The big companies, they're going to do it because they have the money to do it. And they have very powerful partnerships with Amazon, straight up. Millions and millions of people use Fire Sticks, and Amazon's saying, we're moving away from Fire Stick, but hey, check this new device out. And we promise it's going to make you more ad dollars eventually. And there's some other really good comments here, like all this for a $10 head start for Roku in the market. This is insane. Poor people must really end up spending the most money in the economy. It's the only thing that makes sense here. Amazon in the UK just reduced the price of all their streaming devices apart from the Select Net, which is now the most expensive stick and the second. I think that has to do with sales though, Tingo. They're not going to put the Select up for sale. But that's really everything, guys. I just think this is clearly a kind of low-key omission. Omission, did I say that right? Anyways, that their device is not going to be ready at launch, straight up. If you guys enjoy the video and you want to support the channel, you like what I do, you think I'm funny, kind of good looking at times, whatever. A great way to support me is just going down below in the link. YouTube is paying creators like me a lot less money. So if you want to support creators like me, yes, subscribing is great. Yes, watching the video is great. But if you want to go a step further, IPVanish will give you one of the best offers possible through my link. $2 a month, basically. 3 gigabytes of eSIM data. You can share with your friends, family, get multiple user experiences out of it. And they even have their advanced plan, which gives you all sorts of extra protection like cloud storage and secure browsing, which is super cool, where it's like literally the best way to anonymously browse the web because it's like a server, kind of like the Amazon app thing. Anyways, that's my my daily plug. Only if you guys want. Like always, subscribe down below. Peace. See you guys.